Productions, and welcome back to 155 Books. My name is Shannon, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 Irish authors I need to read in 2024. So I've got my laptop with me here, and I've got a list of the 5 different Irish authors that I have not read any books from as of yet. And this is, of course, in honour of St. Patrick's Day. And when I was collating this list, there was actually way more than 5. Which is really bad. So without further ado, I'm just going to get straight into it because I'm embarrassed that there's so many Irish authors I haven't actually read yet. So the first author on my list is Caroline O'Donoghue. Again, I'm really surprised I haven't read a Caroline O'Donoghue book yet. So the 2 main books I would like to read by Caroline O'Donoghue are All Our Hidden Gifts, which I believe is a trilogy or young adult book series that it follows, the first book I believe follows, is it 2 best friends? And they do like a tarot reading and then it kind of like starts to come true, or there's like magic and mystical things that start happening, and maybe they have powers, like magical powers, I'm not sure, but a lot of my friends have read this and really enjoyed it, and it sounds like something I would really enjoy, so I'm embarrassed that I haven't picked that one up yet. The other Caroline O'Donoghue that I really want to read is Promising Young Women, and this one follows a main character who has an affair with a married man in her workplace, and I do believe it's sort of like how this affair starts to just crumble everything in her life. So I'm assuming everything falls apart, including her career, her friendships, obviously relationships. I actually had this one on my TBR, but then I unhauled it because I read a few books with the similar premise and I kind of thought I wasn't going to reach for Promising Young Women anytime soon. However, I do think enough time has maybe passed since I read those other books that it is one that I would pick up again soon, but if not, I can always get it from the library or secondhand or buy it again to support the author. The next author on my list is one that every single time I find out this author is Irish, I'm surprised because I always forget that this author is Irish, and it's a classic author and a classic book, and that is Bram Stoker and Dracula. Again, Dracula and Bram Stoker are like an author and book that I'm really surprised I haven't read yet because I love Gothic classics. Like, one of my favourite books of all time, or classics of all time, is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I also love The Picture of Dorian Gray, so why I haven't read Dracula yet is astounding to me. I think it's because it's a classic and it's a large classic, and that kind of puts me off a little bit, but I would love to maybe get to Dracula this year. I feel like it would be a really fun book maybe to do a buddy read or a read along for, so if anyone is interested in doing that, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you've read Dracula, let me know your thoughts, because I feel like people either love it or hate it. I don't know if it's like a Marmite book. And I don't actually know any other books that Bram Stoker has written. I don't know if Dracula was the only book or if just my knowledge on Bram Stoker is just so bad that I think Dracula is the only book that he has written. And again, I didn't realise he was Irish, which is very embarrassing. Next on this list is a non-fiction author, and again one that I do have on my TBR and a book that I've had for a very long time, and again I'm very embarrassed that I haven't read it yet, but the author I'm talking about is Emma Dabiri, and the book I'm talking about is Do Not Touch My Hair. She has also written a few other non-fiction books more recently. The other one that I would maybe like to read that I've heard really good things about is What White Women or What White People Can Do Next. Don't Touch My Hair was released in 2018 and it's 2014 now. It's been 6 years since that book came out and I have not read it. And Emma Dabiri is a Nigerian Irish author, so if you are looking to diversify like I am my Irish authors, I would say Emma Dabiri is a good one to start with, but in order for me to say that, I do have to read one of her books, so that's why, like I say, I really want to get to Don't Touch My Hair at some point this year. Next on my list is actually an author, or the only author on this list I have read a previous book by, and that is, but the reason why I've listed her on this list is because for me reading another one of her books will be like a reintroduction, as it's been a really long time since I read the book by her that I did read, but I'm talking about Emma Dabiri. So I read A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing back in 2019. I buddy read it with Shah from Thoroughly Enjoyed Books. It was like, I think the second buddy read we did after our very famous Normal People buddy read. Oh no, it was Conversations with Friends that we buddy read, that made us best friends. So obviously A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing has that really like special place in my heart. I absolutely adored it. I read it in like a day or a couple of days because it was for a readathon, like a week-long readathon, and I was just obsessed with that book. The way it was written, it's written in a stream of consciousness, but from the point of the main character when they're a baby or even in the womb. So the first couple of chapters literally make no sense at all, but as it goes on, it kind of deals with the main character's struggles being a woman in terms of like, I don't want to spoil it, but I would definitely check out the content warnings because it is a difficult one to read. It either won or was nominated for the Women's Prize for Fiction. But yes, loved that book, and I'm really surprised that I haven't picked up an Emma Dabiri book since then. But the book that I have on my TBR is The Lesser Bohemians, obviously very different from A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing. But last year when I attended a booktube meetup in London, and I finally got to meet Leanne from Leanne Rose, which was amazing, we talked about Emma McBride, and she actually said that she adored The Lesser Bohemians. Out of all the ones she's read, I think that was her favourite, and that pushed the book up like in my want to read even more. So I was a bit worried because I'd maybe compare it to A Girl is a Half-Formed Thing, but now knowing that Leanne loved it, I think I'm going to also love it, and I'm even more excited about reading this book. And like I say, I would love to get around to reading it this year. For me, it feels like it might be a summer book, so keep an eye out for my summer TBR because it may feature on there. And the last author on this list is a fairly new Irish author. They published their debut novel last year, but they have won loads of prizes since then, and that is Colin Walsh. And the book I'm talking about is Carla. So when this came onto my radar, I read the synopsis and immediately was like, that's a 5-star book for me. I cannot wait to read it. I was waiting for the paperback to come out, which is out now, so the next time I'm in a bookshop and I see it, I will definitely be picking it up. But some of the awards it has won include the R.T. Francis McManus Short Story Prize, and in 2019 he was also named the Hennessy New Irish Writer of the Year. 2019, so this cannot be his debut novel. So Carla is his debut novel, but he was a writer for obviously several TV shows, so that's why he won the New Irish Writer of the Year in 2019, which makes sense. But I am going to give you a synopsis of Carla just so you know why this book really jumped out at me. Following 3 old friends reunited in their hometown on the Irish West Coast as chilling secrets from their past start to unravel, Walsh's atmospheric thriller is drenched in suspense and populated with richly drawn characters. And that's really all you get from the synopsis, and that's all I want to know, but that in itself, just like I say, sold it to me. I love it when it's stories about reunited friends, because normally if they've grown, if they were like childhood friends and they're grown up now and they're reunited, there's always friction, and then like I say, secrets normally from the past start to come out when people are older. I feel like the hometown side of things is going to be really interesting, so I cannot wait to pick this up in a bookshop and read it, and hopefully that will be at some point this year. So those are the 5 Irish authors I really want to try in 2024. Please let me know your favourite Irish author in the comments below, or one I haven't mentioned here and one that you know I haven't read from that you think I should, because there are so many. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely St. Patrick's Day, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!